Welcome to a Minorities Report, where stories of resilience, identity, and transformation take center stage. Today, we're honored to speak with Ronnie Leron, a dynamic entrepreneur and a visionary, and who's not just continuing a family legacy, but reshaping it with innovation, heart, and grit. From the roots planted by his mother to the new heights that he's taking with his wife, Mylene, Ronnie embodies what it means to honor the past while boldly stepping into the future. Ronnie, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you. And by the way, thank you for all the nice words.
No,
I'm
thanks.
flattered, and thank you for inviting me. First of all, before we start, I'd like to congratulate you for doing this, though.
Oh, man.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Thank you.
No, it just really connects everybody in the community, and this is
Yeah.
that's a one big way of doing it. Thank you.
No, thank you. Thank you for doing this. I know you're a busy guy, and
Well,
to
not all
tie
the
you
time, but
in.
most of the time,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And I know the weather's good too today, so you're sacrificing a golf day for me here.
Yeah, I find time, to have a balance here and there.
Yeah,
Kinda,
yeah. That's good.
yeah.
Well, let's take off with this one. How about
Sure.
can you share memories of the store, Manila Hong Kong store? So Ronnie Leron is the owner. Him and his wife Mylene is the owners of Manila Hong Kong store. Share memories of the store under your mom's ownership and when
Shall we go back all the way?
yeah when you learned about her leadership and
Yeah.
early
It's,
foundation of your family business.
Ooh, yeah. So actually, it was an idea back in late '83, '84. So I don't know. My sister was your past guest here. She might have just told you the story, but yeah, it started as an idea in '84. We started our first location. It's actually right by Reno High. I remember it now.
Yeah,
On
yeah.
Booth Street.
Boot
So
Street.
that was a small, very small, maybe smaller than this room actually. When we started out, and so yeah, so we kept it on a family business, and we moved in here in Sparks in Audi Boulevard on the first location. That was back in 1987 or '88, I believe. Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of retrenched the whole thing, and the one before this new location, and then when we moved there in '87. Yeah, that's where it all took off, though. I mean, it's just, of course, it took off as same as how the community grew,
Yeah.
and so finally we moved into our new location during the COVID years, mind you. Jeez, I don't know what
I
I was
know.
thinking of doing that, but it turned out good. That new location, we're all excited. We moved in there September 2021,
Yeah.
and here we are.
Yeah, that's
still
pretty
going
bold.
strong.
That was pretty bold of you to
Yeah.
make a
Well, at
big
that-
move in that year.
Yeah, at that time, I felt like I felt like the store is getting a little small for the demands. Of course, everybody knows about the influx of Filipino in general, but Asians in northern Nevada, and so I know that it is starting to be too small for us. So we want to meet the demands, and of course, a lot of Filipinos in particular. They're used to the big stores, the big ticket stores in California. So they kind of,
Seafood City.
yeah, we
they
have
wanna
to,
go
yeah,
there.
yeah,
Oh, but you made tremendous change in that.
yeah,
store.
yeah, and that
You
goes,
are-
and that was just not me. I mean, it was more of a teamwork. My wife, we kind of redid the whole mechanics thing, and so we automated the whole thing, and
that's
redid
another
the
thing,
whole
yeah.
inventory. So computerized, if just might be the right word. So, in other words, yeah. So we have to really upkeep,
yeah.
for the demands. So,
Yeah, and it looks great there, actually. It really
Thank you, thank
looks
you,
modern, but yet
thank you.
still
We're still working on it,
Filipino,
because
yeah.
it's an ever changing. Like we're launching Instacart very soon, and online ordering. We're actually on the works doing that right now. So
Oh, really?
yeah.
Wow. I know your mom or Becky said that you guys were doing delivery.
Yeah, well,
Back
that
in
was
the
way
days.
back, and of course, when you're starting out, everybody knows everybody, so we kind of want to boost up the sales because it's pretty much a startup from
Yeah.
from the ground, basically. So
Yeah. What was your role before when your mom had it?
So when during the formation at the store, we were kind of like we were going all places. I mean, Sacramento, San Francisco, meeting people and all that. Today, it's. I wish I could say that it's easy, but it's not as easy to put it all together. I'm sure business owners know that. But you know, during the launching is that's the hardest part. But once you did, and so I was accompanying her most of the time.
Oh wow.
You know? Yeah.
So that's why.
And she was working at that time too. During that time,
I heard
she was working.
a dealer,
and then,
right?
Yeah, starting at the store, and so we're kind of like taking turns and helping out. But you know,
And you were working too. All of you guys were working too.
more or
and then
less,
helping
yeah,
out.
doing pitching in, you know, because we all have our own jobs at that time. So
Wow.
yeah,
Golly. Well, it has been a staple, right? Manila Hong Kong is part of
Thank you.
Reno. The
Thank you,
Filipino community, everybody knows Manila
yeah.
Hong
We'd
Kong.
we'd like to treat people well, and thank you, because you know, as a matter of fact, the one that struck me when she was turning over the store to us, she told me that's one wise words, and she said that treat everybody fairly, you know, equal, and that will always come back to you. I mean, you know, it's just basically the golden rule, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is. It is. But you guys did really well. And then when you took over,
Yeah. So
you took it to another level.
yeah, thank you. Yeah. So yeah, when I believe it might have been 2003. She was had a little health issues at that time. So she kind of like opened up in the family. Are we selling the store, or are we, you know, somebody might want to start up and continue on? So initially, what we did was me and Rose and Becky, you know, started taking it over. You know, took it and kind of like continue on while we're dealing with her health at that time. So, but then there was a big move that everybody wants to go to Texas for some reason, and
That's
you know,
right.
so,
That's right.
yeah, and kind of like it struck me. I said, if we all go to Texas, I mean, I could never leave Reno though. I mean, it's just this is where I grew up, and this is where practically 1982 when we moved in here.
Wow.
And I never did move, so
Never had the
yeah, so we took it upon ourselves, me and my wife, and you know, my brother Raymond. I said, you know, let's just keep it in a family and improve it.
yeah.
You know, keep it up with the changing times. So
So it
thank
was
God we did.
it was either you keep it or you
we're-
move it. Or
yeah,
you
or
move
we're
to
s-
San
yeah.
Antonio.
Well, the original idea for the family is like, let's all move to Texas, and you know, kind of. So
Move with
I said,
mom.
I don't know. I like Reno though, so I'm telling we're gonna stay. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Oh shoot. That is.
Yeah.
That is. There was a year that
it's kind
she
of a
moved.
gamble at that time. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that, you know, with the support, like I said, I didn't do it alone. My wife was there right beside me, and Raymond, and you know, the support of the family. Yeah, sure, we like that idea, so we kind of we bought it from the estate. You know, kind of took it over and bought it from the estate of the family, and yeah, here we are.
Yeah.
Oh wow, what was that? 2007 when it all began. That was the
Was
big
that
transition.
2007? Okay.
Yeah. So
That's when you and Mylene
yeah.
took over. Great. Wow. So 2007.
So
What
yeah.
was the first thing you and Mylene decided to change?
Well, we have our own careers then. Gosh, I don't know. I've worked everywhere. I worked in the casino for so many years. And
Did you really?
Oh yeah.
Which casino?
Oh
were
my
you?
gosh. When I got here in 1982, you know, I believe it was September of 1982, and 2 weeks after that, I'm already working. I was a lone kid, a bus boy. I could
went
tell you the
straight to
casino,
work.
they might not even be around. So I started in a casino called Harold's Club way back
Oh
in
yeah,
82.
they're not
yeah,
around
so,
anymore.
yeah.
Harold's, yeah.
Yeah, so I worked in a casino then. I became from a restaurant, a busboy, and I was a waiter. I was a waiter at a steakhouse for a while, and
Wow.
then the big transition is I believe it was 1989 when I decided to go in the gaming part of the casino. So I was dealer from 89 till until I was working. I started working in the post office 95, and I was doing 2 jobs at that time.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh shucks.
I know.
You guys are really hard workers.
Well, I got a family that then I got to support. But then, you know, 2003, I believe, is when I said, okay, we're gonna go full blast on this business. So I quit the job. I quit my post office job, and we've been running it since then. And then 2007, when Becky and Rose moved to Texas, and that's where we kind of really took off from there.
You bought them out, and then okay,
Yep, absolutely.
kind of just took the reins.
Yeah,
from there.
so we were, me and Mylene were actually working in the post office, and I said,
didn't know.
let's hang the hat and just do this full time. But we also got businesses on the side, though. I mean, she was managing the home care. We've been doing the home care since what, '97?
Yeah, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Home care, that's
yeah,
good.
the home care business.
I
That's
didn't
also
know
a
that
growing
about you.
business, by the way, here
It is.
in Nevada. Reno in particular.
That's recession proof.
Yeah, you
Isn't
can
it?
say that. It's hard. It's not like I said, it's not for everybody, but it's a challenging but a good business though. Actually, you're
I
right.
think
It's
so.
economy proof.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know any Filipino who owned a home care.
There's
That-
quite a few actually.
Yeah, there's a
There
lot
is-
of them, right? But I don't know anybody who owned one and did not make money.
Correct.
I think
Yeah.
everybody's.
I mean, the home care business is it's kind of a tricky part though. I mean, I always call it feast and famine type of business because you get your receivables every month, but you have to know how to manage your business, and you have to have that discipline.
yeah.
Because it's like I said, it's the same receivable every month. You know what I mean? So if you're not managing it well, something's not right. Then you'll feel the pinch. So
What's more rewarding for you, home care or the store?
kind of both, but I like the store. Because I like to deal with people. I like to be around people. I mean, I've worked in the casinos for a while, and it actually, to be honest, when I was working in the post office, then I had to go back in the casino part time just for my sanity reasons. Because you see the same people every day in the post office, and kind of okay, hey, I
Is it boring for you?
yeah, I like to be around people. I like to do the service. So when we took over the store, kind of I've known almost everybody, but you get to know more people as they go
Yeah.
along.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's been exciting and challenging. I mean, it's not. I'd be lying if I tell you that it's just all heyday. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Every
yes.
businesses are. So.
It's always up and down, right?
Oh,
There's
yes,
challenges that
yes.
will present.
Oh
be
yes,
presented.
yes, and I'm proud to say that we're still here. We're around. We've seen businesses come and gone, but
Correct. There's been so many stores, including
Yeah.
myself. I opened one small one. Remember?
I remember. Yeah,
You were
yeah.
helping me out.
That was good though.
It's more-
Like I said, it's
It's so hard to make money. 10 cents.
It is. And nickel and diming, and just kind of it's challenging. I think you have to know your purpose, and you have to have faith in what you're doing. I think that's the biggest part, because once you start doubting, then you start getting a little cold feet here and there. A
Yeah.
few bumps will really get you off. So.
Yeah, I mean, I was just copying what I was seeing around town, and
Yeah,
one of the
yeah,
things to copy
yeah.
is Manila Hong Kong,
Yeah,
right?
it is, and it's no secret. It's very copyable. I mean, kind of.
Yeah, it's there, right? It's there, but
Yeah.
until you run one,
Oh,
you don't know the difficulty.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
To make $1 out of
absolutely.
sardines.
Well, the biggest thing that I notice is people will see the finished product. You'll see the front side. You see them nice, a lot of people coming and going, but once you go on the gray side, the gray area, that's where the challenges are. So you got distributors coming. You got new vendors. You have new products. You have to be dynamic
Correct.
and improving new products and finding new ones. Like I said, meet the demands of the public. So
What's the biggest challenge for a store owner?
regarding the products, or
Yeah, when you
Or in
operate it,
general?
what do you think would be like one of the biggest challenges for you as the owner of Manila Hong Kong? Let's just say
well, sourcing for items, for products, number one, and of course labor. So good. The biggest, well, it's a known fact, and as a business owner, the biggest expense you do is the rent and the labor.
Right.
But so So we tend to tackle that in a way to just treat our employees right, treat them fairly, because you want to have them stay. Don't want to keep training people. So
Yeah, you don't want
and
any
then,
turnovers.
yeah,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
customers want to see familiar faces in there all the time.
True,
So
true.
yeah, so my brother does the mostly on the front side. So
Oh,
yeah, he deals
okay.
with a lot of
He deals with the
public
employees.
relations, if you will.
He's doing a good job.
Oh,
He's
thank
doing
you.
a good
Yeah,
job. Yeah.
yeah. So I do the gray area. I do the bad stuff.
So you acquired the building. You bought your new building, right?
Yeah, no, we haven't. We're actually renting on this one.
Oh, are you
Where
renting?
there were the
Okay.
original plan, because I bought a lot that we are going to build a building from the ground up, and that was, I believe it might have been 2000, year 2000. No, I'm sorry, 2019.
Okay.
There
Yeah.
were there was a plan that I'm going to or we're going to get the building from the ground up, kind of like a multi-purpose building.
Oh. okay,
Rental
okay.
on the top, and then have a stalls. The big chain store. I mean, the big anchor would be the store, and they have two or three different stalls as a rental.
Oh.
But that kind of, I had to put that on hold because, well, first of all, the cost.
Cost
It's
is
not
high, yeah.
easy. Oh yeah, and then we're running through the SBA and all that, and say, you know what? But I needed to move at that time because I wanted a bigger store, because
Oh, okay.
that store is getting really small.
Yeah.
So we moved across the street, which is I believe it's a much better location from where it was before. So
I think so. I think
yeah,
so too. Yeah.
yeah. But then the long-term plan, mostly the having our own place is still in the works. So
Okay, yeah.
don't be surprised if
No, no.
we move again.
Maybe I spilled the
Yeah,
tea
well,
here, but
I don't want to announce that yet, but it might be coming down. So
the only reason why I asked it because when we were looking for a building for the church, the agent offered me the building that the theater in your area right now.
oh yes,
Yeah.
down the corner,
On
right
the
on
corner, yeah,
yeah.
around the corner. And he said, "Oh, Ronnie, you're Filipino, right?"
Yeah.
Because I showed that to Ronnie too, but
Yeah.
we were trying to sell that to him. So I was thinking, like, "Oh, shucks, Ronnie
Yeah,
bought
yeah.
the building."
Well, I took a few years lease on this location we are now, and we're being treated right. So,
Good, good.
but the long term plan, like I said, we'll get our own place, and that's probably where. After that, then I'll probably just the time will be time to retire by that time.
That's good though. If you buy your own place and then
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
other tenants there,
Yeah.
and then when you sell this, if and when you sell the store,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
with real estate too.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we built a goodwill on it though, so kind of I know it'll be around hopefully.
Oh yeah, no, I don't know. Like Manila, Hong Kong is a staple. It's
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. It's so like I said, thank you for the support.
yeah,
of the
yeah.
people through those years. My gosh. I mean, even your mom was oh my goodness, how long have I known her?
My mom will always say, "Alice, let's go to
Yeah.
Alice's store." It's always Alice up to now.
Like I said, yeah, her legacy is pretty much it.
Yeah.
So we want to keep that.
Yeah.
And actually, my common question: how did it become Manila Hong Kong? And so, the main, as far as I remember, Manila Hong Kong. The old location that we were, the one before this, it was a Hong Kong market.
Oh,
And so we kind of we took it over from the Chinese couple at that time. I believe in 1987 or 88, and we stayed in that location for ever since until I moved in 2021.
oh,
So
okay.
it was a Hong Kong market, and kind of like okay, my mom says Manila Hong Kong. It's kind of catchy, and then never left that name.
And I guess I never thought it, but her being half Chinese.
Yeah,
And
she's half
Filipino.
Chinese.
Yeah,
Yeah, so that kind of fits.
Yeah, yeah,
in the equation.
Kind of worked out well, huh?
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. How about this, Ronnie? I have some questions here for you to come
Sure.
in. So you're carrying the legacy, right, of your mom there. Do you think you're probably gonna say it's a privilege,
Absolutely.
but what's the biggest challenge there when you know that okay, my mom told me to run this business, respecting people. Is there a challenge around that? Is there any pressure, I should say? Is there
Oh
any
yes,
pressure
absolutely.
Now
I would
that-
say I'll pick the word uncertainty.
there? Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
not knowing. So going back to my story, we've had our own careers.
Yeah.
It's a good job, good paying job. So actually, my wife was just saying, why are we doing this? Are you crazy? So I said,
Yeah, 'cause you're at the
you know
post
what?
office, yeah. Yeah.
You know what? I feel it in my bones. It will make it. We'll make it. So let's just do it.
That
Grab
is a
it
big
by the horn
gamble.
and just do it.
Oh, God.
Yeah, but of course, I was kind of directly in the business at that time, so I kind of have a little, calculated risk, if you
Yes.
say. But then again, you never know. You
It,
just never
it's
know.
really the businessman in you then.
Say again.
It's really the businessman in you.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So even back home, we grew up in we were born in a market. It plays in Divisoria. I'm sure everybody knows that.
Okay.
So we grew up in that kind of environment in the market. So that kind of helps us, have a little insights on what's going on. So
Do you have any memory when you were younger when you actually ran a business without knowing that you had a business acumen at an early age?
not really. So we were just doing the motions, and actually we're kind of resistant. My mom has been doing the business ever since. So she goes to different parts of the Philippines. And we were having our market is kind of like I said, we grew up in the market in Divisoria, and then she has all kinds of produce. That's what she's doing. She could go into all over the Philippines, exporting or importing stuff from, and then that's sometimes we're tagged to
You
to do
tagged
the store.
along.
Yeah. So,
Oh, wow. So you were just really exposed to business from an early
somewhat,
age.
yes, somewhat. Yeah. Of course, we're doing our schools, and then
Yeah.
we go to the store. We have our own produce stores back then in the Philippines, and we run restaurants too. At that
Did
time.
you really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh gosh.
So it was kind of.
You were really exposed to business and it was just not
Yeah, you could say that. Yeah. So, but when I got here, and I never would have thought I'd end up like owning a business. So I was kind of like, okay, I'm working in the post office. This is where I'm gonna be. I'm gonna be retiring. So, but opportunities came. So
yeah.
I'm glad.
You were saying something earlier before we start recording that the growth of our community just
Absolutely.
is very staggering,
Oh,
right?
yeah. It's overwhelming at times.
It's overwhelming.
Yeah, sometimes I tell people I think we're growing too fast for our own good. That word Reno's biggest little city, sometimes it doesn't apply anymore. It's just
That's actually true.
Are we really the biggest little city still? I mean, I was so used to, well, of course, Reno's, you got hills all over the place.
Correct.
There wasn't any lights back then. You'd look around you and there's not any, no housing. It was kind of, I was actually culture shocked when I got here in 1982. It was kind of not very many, but I saw it grew. I think it might have taken off maybe around 90s, the mid 90s, where everybody just an influx of people, and we never looked back since then. So
Yeah. Yeah. How about, do you have any regrets there when you took over? Are you regretting it at times? Like,
then I took over the business.
or are there times that like, man, I should have just
No.
stayed.
Not really.
No,
it
right?
just-
Yeah,
It was challenging, like I said. I mean, it wasn't. Sometimes, I was talking to my wife and says, "Oh my gosh, I didn't know it's a lot harder when you're just us." Because you gotta deal with everything. I mean, from the front to the back, to the state.
Delivery,
You're dealing with all three levels. You're dealing with the federal, you're dealing with the state and the county, and that's some are monthly, some are quarterly, some are it's you really have to believe in what you're doing. I mean, it's
Yeah.
and I thank God for giving us the opportunity to do this, and like I said, nothing will be given unless it was given from.
Yeah, you believe that? So you're holding on to your faith there.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That it's God who gave this
Oh,
to you,
yes.
and you're taking care of it.
Everything
because
is
of
by
that.
grace. Yes,
Nice.
absolutely.
Nice. That's good. How about, tell me about, so Becky shared a little bit when they were, when you guys were advertising, not advertising, but Manila Hong Kong became very involved with the community.
Yeah, I
So
remember.
the
Yeah, I
Philippine
remember.
Heritage
Oh yes,
Society and all that
yes,
stuff.
yes, absolutely. My mom was even back home. She was very very active in civic, civic organizations, and especially and also church. She's very active in the church. And I remember when we started, or she and her group started at Santo Niño, way back.
Oh, really?
Gosh, I remember how long ago. Let me rethink that for a second. I believe it might have been 1992 or 91. She started at Santo Niño, where because we in the place where we were back home, that's our parish is the Santo Niño Church actually in Tondo. So she was kind of devoted on that one. So she wants to bring it in here, um, and it kind of became a tradition. The Santo Niño Fiesta, which is every January. I believe they're still celebrating that in different churches. I mean St. Albert and Little Flower, and we were actually involved in that for a while until but it's still ongoing. And so, like I said, and they'll show it. She knows everybody, and she tries to be. Oh gosh, I don't know. She was very active, and I remember being involved in some of these through her.
She's involved. She wants to be involved in people's lives because she wants to help.
Yes.
Right?
Oh yes. Very helpful. Yeah, because I'm kind of surprised that you know my mom. How did you know her? I get that a lot. Oh, you're Alice's son. How did you know that?
Do you carry that on? Do you like do?
I tried to. Maybe not as much as her, but I tried to.
How about Manila Hong Kong now? So, are you trying to be? You have any engagement with the community?
Yeah, we my open words out there that our door is open. We always support any group, being it from the church or being it from the civic group. We always support Manila Hong Kong. Well, even in the basketball.
Yeah,
remember
yeah.
that the
Yeah, I always
basketball
go to
tournament.
you, yeah.
Oh yeah, I
When they
remember
used to run
that.
it like Ronnie.
Oh my gosh.
Sponsor some trophies.
Yeah, yeah. We even had a team back then, Manila Hong Kong.
You
Yeah,
always had. There's
yeah.
always a Manila
That's a
Hong
good.
Kong.
Yeah, we wanted to be involved in something like that all the time because it keeps the community, connected.
Yes.
It is. Yeah, and like I said, I missed the time when everybody knows everybody. Everybody's calling everybody by first name. So
Yeah, that's not the
right.
case anymore.
It may not be the case
Yeah,
now,
yeah.
but we still try to be connected, though. I mean, and we welcome new people, So
How many employees do you have now at Manila Hong Kong?
I believe 14.
Yeah, 14. When
Yeah.
you guys started,
Oh gosh, maybe one guy in the back, and my sisters were cashiers. So maybe one or two at a time,
so just
You know,
two to
yeah.
operate.
and then 14 is just the store side. Now the restaurant, which Oni is running, I believe she has 4 in there. So
Wow.
yeah.
Wow. So do you remember how small? Well, you said
Oh,
it was
gosh.
small, but what
Yeah.
was the square footage you think of your first store?
Oh my.
And then what's your what's your
believe-
square footage now, I guess?
I believe the location before this one, it was around. Oh my gosh, I can't remember. I had that in my notes, but I believe might have been 2,200 square feet on the old one. Right now we're almost close to 7,000. I think
Wow.
7,000
And then
square feet. That
14
includes the
employees.
warehouse, though. That includes the warehouse, which is about 1,500. So yeah, it's
Oh,
growing.
okay. Yeah.
So we actually, when I was looking at this new place, it was actually 2 stalls that I want to get. So when I talked to, I believe Sarah Equity, I'm pretty sure you know them. So yeah, I want to get both of them and knock the wall because I knew right away that
It was going to be small.
yeah, that the demand is, like I said, we have to meet that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm glad I did. And so here we are in that new location. Yeah, come check us out.
Yeah. What's the address? Give
Oh.
them the address.
Well,
Just
the
in
new
case-
address is
just in case they don't know.
2233. Yeah, 2233 Audi, which is kind of funny because our old address is 2352. Now it's 2233, and people are still making mistakes about that. It's still Audi Boulevard, but
Correct.
And I want to keep it on the same location or same area.
Yeah.
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 I don't want to move people around too much. And my the common question also that I'm getting is, when are you guys opening the new location, or are you opening a new location somewhere? Again, there is a demand, but hopefully I can meet that.
Wow. So, um, when Becky was here, she shared that there was some, because you guys were just starting out. There's some struggles with
Oh yeah.
finances was
Oh
pretty
yeah.
up and
Oh
down.
yeah. Oh yeah. Every
You
business
probably
owner
don't.
knows that.
You probably don't have that anymore because you're pretty well established.
There are challenges. I mean, there's not, it's not there in the business. In the business, there's not always heyday. There are some lean months. There are some good months. So, but if you keep it, it's a projection. It's a foresight. It's a planning, and you have to be a step ahead. That's my cardinal rule. You have to be 2-3 steps ahead of what you're doing, because if you're planning for the season and the season's already here, you're cramming.
You're right.
You're late.
Right.
Yeah.
You should have been planning.
Yeah.
Last
foresight. Yeah, because like summer's upcoming. You know what sells good in the summer? What are the people's demands in the summer? What are the products you have to have in the summer? It's seasonal.
You have that too, huh?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Seasonal
Yeah.
stuff?
Absolutely. Summer products. Nobody would. I don't know. Everybody's doing their barbecue in the summer,
Oh,
so you
okay.
want to keep that. So everybody, kids are out of school. So everybody. It's different demands depending on the season of the year, though.
Oh,
You know what I mean? Yeah. So we try to provide that.
Is that something you identified prior to when you took
Somewhat,
over?
I was learning. I was learning that mostly by by analysis while I was running the business.
when
kinda,
you were
yeah,
already running
yeah.
it solo.
Yeah.
Okay, wow, yeah.
So I give you an example, like maybe November and December, of course, the holiday season. I should be doing that by the end of August, and what my projection would be. So those kind of things.
So you're having the queso de bola and all
Yeah,
that stuff coming for December.
just to name a few. Oh my goodness, let me tell you. Well, of course, everybody knows the holiday season is the busiest one of all. Like
Is it?
everybody.
What-
So
What's your highest? What product is your
my
most
fastest selling.
fastest selling? Yes.
Lately I was amazed, and this blew me away though. The lumpia wrapper of all things. You know that everybody's doing. And I'm not just talking Filipinos now. I'm talking all ethnicity,
Okay.
and I'm actually getting more Caucasians buying that, doing their own thing now because they're learning.
Oh man, you
Right.
made it if
I
you
think-
get the Caucasians in there.
Oh yeah, we get all
Yeah.
different ethnicities in there because it's just awareness and people. It's kind of a habit. You know how you do your groceries.
Yes, yes.
This is my favorite grocery. I want to keep doing that. So you know which one is going and which one is. We look in the computer. We have the analysis. Everything is computerized now anyway,
Oh,
so that
yeah.
helps us a lot.
You can track it
Yeah,
better now because
yeah,
you're
yeah.
digitalized, right?
Yeah,
That's
inventory
good.
tracking. Yeah,
Yeah.
we do that. So yeah, it's very helpful, and you have to do it that way because you have the technology nowadays. It's amazing.
Correct.
know.
Correct. Huh? and then when you move locations,
Yeah.
do you think it helped you? Ever
Yeah,
since
it did.
the
It
change?
did actually. It did actually.
I think it's more welcoming.
Because you present it well.
Yeah.
I really believe that you present your store well, and then you just attract people that people that you like. I mean, people that you got to make it more attractive. I mean, who would want to go run down stores? I mean, kind of. You
Yeah.
just have to. You have to treat people. I mean, give them what they want.
Mm.
Give them what they demand. They wanted that to just provide.
Easy access too. Like
Yeah.
the the store is more comfortable when you're moving around there now.
Yeah.
Compared to
Yeah, the space that was the
there's
biggest
more
issue
space.
at that time. Is the space, So
Yeah.
I know we outgrew it. Heck, I might have done this maybe 3 or 4 years late, because the demand was already there, when we started acting. But I'm glad we did.
And you have new equipment. You have new freezer, refrigerator there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks very official.
Thank you. Yeah. So we did all that, and we did a study and that for a year. So we purchased new equipments and stuff, and the restaurant. I want to make sure it's kind of like
The
it
restaurant's
goes,
nice
yeah,
too.
it complements each other, goes hand in
Yes.
hand.
Yes, and
Yeah.
and the design, the aesthetic
Yeah,
is
but
really
that's my
nice.
wife. Yeah, she did
Yeah,
that.
yeah. All right,
That
good
would be her
job.
department. Yeah,
Yeah, I would have not
Yeah.
credited that to you.
yeah. Oh no,
That's always the woman's touch, right?
the
Right?
cosmetics and aesthetics.
Right,
That'll
right.
be hers.
It has to be the female. No, it looks great.
Thank you. Yeah.
Like you
Thank
know,
you.
it's modern but still
Yeah.
Filipino.
Yeah,
You
and,
know?
and of course the you have to upkeep and the changing. There's always room for improvement. You know, we want to keep that, and it cannot be stagnant in doing that. You got to be dynamic. You have to know. You have to know your products. You have to know the type of people you want to serve. You know, you got to be open to them.
Yeah.
Just, yeah, like I said, treat them fairly. You know, it's
Yeah. So the things I'm imagining, the things you've learned throughout the years with the store business, you adopted certain systems there to
Yeah.
your home care
Absolutely.
business.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't say yes, but modernizing it, you know, put a good POS systems, put a good computer, and then bookkeeping. That's important in
Yeah.
business, you know. So you got to know where your bottom line is, basically. So, yeah.
If you're
regards
making
to
money
the-
or not, which one's
yeah,
making you money?
absolutely.
Yeah.
In regards to the home care business, that's when we started that. I don't know. It was kind of a starting trend with the Filipinos from our group back then. And so kind of okay, let's start it. We started really small. Yeah, we have two clients from our own house. Imagine a 1,500 square foot house. We just started that, and then
Really?
we just take off from there. So we bought another house, and we made that into a home care and bought another house. So yeah, so we're blessed to have three of them right now. So kind of
And then two patients
Yeah.
each house.
no, it's actually more than that. One of them has 9, I believe, 9,
Oh my
and
gosh.
the other one is 8, and then the other one is right now it's going on 6. So
He's just like expanding.
yeah, so yeah, we
That's good.
yeah,
that's
never a
good.
dull moment. Let me tell you. So
That's
it
good.
keeps us young and moving.
That's good.
So you know, at some point we all have to rest at some point. But yeah,
It's very rewarding.
oh, thank
Running
you.
your
Yeah,
own business,
yeah.
huh? Very,
Yeah.
very rewarding.
Yeah,
for
I
you.
would say so. Yeah, yeah. It's a journey. You know, would I do anything differently? Probably nothing major. But you know, I like what we're doing. So
Good, good.
yeah, and I encourage everybody out there. I mean, I know businesses are not easy, or else everybody would have done it. You know?
Oh yeah. No, but there are a lot of people that try
Yeah.
but don't.
It-
Like me, when I tried my restaurant and
Yeah.
my Filipino store,
Yeah. Oh, I remember
just
that
did- I
restaurant.
did-
I
yeah.
love that restaurant. But
Yeah.
that was the grill right in downtown.
Manila Grill.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my
We
gosh.
tried.
Oh my gosh. I remember that. You know, that's what we're lacking in here though. A good grill place where everybody could hang out, and that's it. It's kind of a night business. Don't you agree?
It is. It is.
It is kind of, yeah. You know, I thought about it, but I can't do that at night time. I'm not a young guy.
I don't know. I think it's tough for me because
Yeah.
the money was really more on the drinks.
Yeah, that's where
Rather
the
than
biggest
the
markup
food,
is.
yeah.
Yeah,
And then
yeah,
so you have to be serving beer.
yeah, yeah.
You
and
know, Filipinos
that's
and their
one thing.
beer.
That's a
you know.
liquor. Yeah. So, you know, another funny part I want to bring up is my mom when she turned over the store. That's one thing that she told me that this number one cardinal rule: you will never sell alcohol.
Oh,
That's why we never did.
That's why you don't have SMB there.
No, and you're closed on Christmas Day.
You're closed on Christmas
Yes.
Day. Oh,
Uh-huh.
good.
So I carried out and on Good Friday, you don't go full day.
Good.
Yeah.
Oh, you're partly
Every
open.
Good Friday. Yeah.
Yeah.
We only open up maybe 4 hours, you know, at the time. Just we observe Good Friday, Christmas, and we'll never sell alcohol.
Do you see your business somehow as a community service in a way? Because we
Yeah.
need it, right?
yeah. We
You
need it.
you said
Yeah.
I try to think of what's needed for the season, so I
Yeah.
try to have that prior
I
to.
actually have a community service board inside the store, for awareness. Somebody wants to bring out, on the open, because like, okay, one particular event, or not an event, but to help out the community is the outreach of the from the Philippine embassy,
Uh-huh.
when they do the outreach of all your anything they need, the passports, what have you,
Okay.
dual citizenship. Yeah, so we try to get involved in that one too.
You
We,
advertise it
we
there.
get the awareness out there, yeah, because everybody's asking.
Yeah, because you get a good amount of traffic there.
Yes.
Foot
yes.
traffic, right?
Yeah,
So
and
a
I
lot of
always tell them
people-
just put the poster in, and then we'll talk about them, give them the details. I always tell my crew on that one does it's watch out for those. So it's the information
Yeah.
that you want to provide to them all the time.
Yeah.
It's like I said, gone were the days where everybody's connected in this
Yeah.
community. So
Correct. Correct.
of course, the areas we have now, my goodness, I cannot
It's
believe it.
expanded, right?
Oh my gosh, I won't be surprised if Sparks will have their own zip code pretty soon, though, or their own area code. My gosh.
Oh, area code for the phone.
My gosh, yes. And any direction you go here in Reno, it's not the same anymore.
Yeah, we see the freeways expanding.
North, south, east, and
Yeah,
west.
yeah, everything, right?
Oh,
Golly, it's
Yeah,
crazy.
I drive around, and I've been to places that I've never been in this Reno before. You know the whole town, right?
Yeah, yeah. I remember us not having any what do you call this, rush hour.
Oh my goodness.
There was no such thing in Reno.
There is now,
There definitely, yeah. Yeah. I had to show a house today.
and it's not going to get any better.
No, it's it's
I
getting
think we're
worse.
outgrowing our highways by the year. Like the north side. Oh my gosh, they're expanding it.
There's
uh,
like 7 lanes there.
But
That gets
I think
clubbed.
yeah, I think it's safe to say we're about 5 years behind in what we're doing right now. I think so.
In the expansion.
I think so. Yeah, we should have done that 5 years ago. We should have done this, years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And there's still shortage with the homes.
yeah.
The population growing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So you're benefiting from this whole thing.
Yeah, yeah,
Right?
for the growth. Yeah. So
Filipino
the
community's
biggest
growing.
the biggest challenge, like I said, is to grow. How do you grow with the community? How do you grow with the influx of people? More dynamic people now. It's not like the old mom and pop store. I mean, you have to kind of like evolve from that. It's not an easy transition at that time. But yeah.
You've stood the
Yeah.
challenges of time
Oh yeah.
because we did grow.
Yeah.
There's been an influx of people for
Yeah.
the Filipinos, but you've also encountered a lot of competition throughout the years.
Yes, yeah. So competition. I would say, yeah, there are competitions in the store, opening up new ones, and then, I just think I look at it as availability, because I really believe one store is not the same from the other.
Yes.
So
yes.
they have their own characteristics. So yeah, we always welcome a good, healthy competition. We always there's always enough for everybody. I would
Yeah.
say, So, but the only secret is how you deal with people.
Correct.
Yeah,
And you're
So,
consistent.
it's a service, not just a product. You're not just selling products. You're selling service.
Yeah.
You're selling. I don't know. You're selling a goodwill. You're selling everything.
Yeah. No, my mom likes it. She's always offered help, with her groceries to the car or whatever.
Yeah.
She's
yeah,
always
it-
good with that.
We like to keep that. That's something that
Yeah.
we want to. It kind of. Yeah, my brother's good at that too. So
Your brother, yeah. Your brother's
So
good
yeah,
at-
we always want. There's a lot of elderlies that that needed that. So we want to
Yeah.
keep that. And I always tell my crew, somebody needs help, go ahead, go for it.
So you said it earlier. There's too many people. I can't remember their names anymore. But do you remember? You remember your suke, mga suke?
Oh yeah. You see familiar faces all the time. I can still see the old timers of Reno all the time. But all our conversation. Oh my God, there's getting less and less of us out here anymore. So
Correct. The old
yeah,
guys are,
the old ones.
the older ones are
Yeah.
being outnumbered.
If there's anything I miss those. Everybody.
You miss the tightness of it.
Yeah, because the familiarity of how everybody grew. through time.
Yeah, I remember if I want to avoid somebody,
Oh,
I just and then I get invited to a party.
Uh-huh.
If I don't want to see that person,
Yeah.
don't go to that party because he's gonna be there or she's gonna be there, right?
yeah, and
That's
they'll
how
know.
small it was.
They
right?
will know.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I remember, when I was a teenager back then. Oh my goodness, we, I, when you know somebody like a Filipino back in the early '80s, you embrace them all the time because there's not a whole lot. There's not a
Correct,
whole lot
correct.
in town. I mean, when you started a group, and I remember. Oh, I'll mention some names, probably Rosell and oh gosh, Dennis, everybody.
Mariano, Dennis Mariano.
Yeah, and all those guys. They were like the first ones out here, and Sonny.
Isip, Sonny
Isip,
Isip, yeah.
There was a lot of guys, and some of them I can't remember anymore, and Marlo and all that. Oh my goodness.
Oh wow.
Wow, and it just kind of blew me away looking back. I said, everybody knows everybody. That's just I can't say
Yeah.
that enough.
Yeah, but now it's different.
It's like yeah,
We got a lot of Filipinos here that we don't know. And before, I know what you mean. Like when I used to work at the El Dorado, and
Yeah.
my first
Oh,
job
yeah.
was cutting prime rib, and then I hear the customers talking in Tagalog, right? I get so excited.
yeah,
Like, oh, you're Filipino.
yeah.
Kumusta?
That's not a common thing. That back then.
now it's like, oh, Filipino.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, that's not of course, our town is not the same anymore the way it was. It was a full-blown gaming town. Now it's more about an industrial town. I don't know if you agree, but
I agree. I
more
agree.
industrial now. So
Correct.
yeah, gaming's still there. You won't go because that's Nevada's trademark.
Yeah.
But it's not not as extensive as it was before.
Yeah, I could never understand before when the city council said that
Mm-hmm.
they don't want to be like the next Vegas. So they were trying to prevent growth
Yeah.
of the casinos.
Being in gaming,
But no, I like it.
yeah, being in gaming actually, that kind of baffled me before because there was a word, the common knowledge before. Why is the city council so anti-gaming in a gaming town?
Yes.
I mean,
yes.
we're trying to reshape or reinvent the wheel in Reno, and so I remember I was still dealing at that time during 1991, I believe, 92, when the first casinos are about to open in the Indian land in California, and that was the word before was like, oh, it'll just be machines, nothing more. It'll just be machines and probably sports book. Look at it now.
Yeah,
Once they get the
tables,
foot
they
on the
get-
door, I mean, there's
Oh,
no
yeah.
stopping it.
Yeah.
So I believe there's only like 4 states. I might be wrong. 4 states in the whole United States that does not have a casino. Everybody else has them.
There,
Yeah.
in the colonies.
And yeah,
Mostly
in the
in the
Indian,
colonies,
in the
yeah.
Indian land. Yeah.
Yeah. Remember that Jethro guy from Beverly Hillbillies? He tried to
Yeah.
open a casino where the Park Lane Mall was.
Yeah.
And then the
Yeah.
city
Yeah.
council
Oh,
blocked
yeah.
it.
I remember. I remember that.
Yeah.
There was actually a proposal in that Lazy Five over in the East Sparks
Was
to open
there?
a
Oh, I didn't know
casino.
about
Yeah.
that one, yeah.
There was a lot. Look at the casino that was opened up on Legends.
Yes. yes.
Who would have thought?
Yeah. But I kind of like it now, though. I kind of
Oh, yeah.
like that they did
Yeah.
not push for more casinos, and we
Yeah.
are really not like
Yeah.
Vegas. You
Yeah,
know?
because one main attraction why we're getting a lot of influx of people is this, well, first of all, our commute. I mean, the short commute, they cannot get that anywhere else.
It was 12
Yeah.
to 15 minutes before.
Yeah, before.
Yeah.
Maybe 25 now,
Nah,
but
it's
yeah.
25, yeah.
But yeah, and that's one thing. And then it's getting more wholesome for the family now.
Yes.
And then we're 4 season. The whole Reno is 4 season. You got your summer, winter, and fall,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's the biggest draw. And of
Yeah.
course, the state tax. So that's one
No
of the biggest
state
draw.
tax, yeah, zero. Yeah.
And you should know this. I think I'm really
No.
amazed that we are actually. Are we more expensive than Las Vegas? Real estate
We are.
wise?
We are.
I find that hard to believe, but yeah.
Yeah, our median price
Somebody
is higher
told me
than
that.
theirs.
Somebody
Yeah.
told me that. I said, really?
Isn't that crazy?
Okay. I said,
Well, in some California towns,
really?
like our median price is higher than theirs, which is
Wow.
pretty cool. Well,
Well,
pretty cool on the commission
cool
side.
in a lot of ways, yeah. But of affordability too. So I wish
Affordability.
I wish
yeah.
our we keep up with the our wages keep up with the demands. So
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, yeah. That's
that's another thing.
but
Oh my
Tesla
God.
kind of helped with that.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Tesla when they made the big move here, all the
Uh-huh.
other companies
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
just
Yeah, of course.
followed
Inflation is there. Yeah. So heck, when I started in '82, $3.40
per hour. I was at $5 per hour when I
Yeah,
started, but it was 425.
But it was gradually going up. But but where are we now? But 12,
They
11,
said
12? 12, yeah.
They said 12 or 14.
12 or 14. But let me tell you, I'd be the first to say nobody's paying 12 or 14. They're paying a lot more than that.
Yeah, or
Yeah, a lot higher than that.
12. Yeah.
Yeah,
So they
so-
have to, or else they won't
Well,
get any
yeah,
people.
Exactly. We're not paying anywhere near that for sure. I'll tell you that. Or you're not going to retain people. So,
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so with all this growth, right? So
Yeah.
Manila Hong Kong established business. You have a lot of competition, but you're still thriving, right? And
Yeah.
you said it's your consistency
God,
there, your service
Yeah.
with your people.
Yeah.
What do you think? Like, if somebody else is going to start a Filipino store, what would be what do you think your advice would be to them?
Know what you're getting into.
Don't. Are you crazy?
No, I'll say it again. Believe in what you're about to do. It's I can tell you right now, it's not easy because I look at it as one big pie. The whole community is one big pie, and you are going to have a little slice of that pie, and that's what you want to do. So you have to. What are you selling? You're selling products, or you're selling service. So you're selling. Anybody can buy ketchup anywhere. Anybody.
Correct,
Well, not
correct.
now, but yeah, but anybody can buy this Filipino
They
product
took it out,
everywhere.
yeah.
But what makes you stand out from the others?
What do you think makes you stand out from the others, Ronnie? All these years.
I think well, we are fortunate enough to have to present stability to to the community that we're here to stay.
And you will have it. I like that about you.
Yeah,
you know?
availability and
Yeah.
stability, I'd say. Yeah. So, you can't, when you say you have to really devote your time, when you say time, if you're open at that time, you close at that time. You have to be consistent in what you're doing. It's consistency. And it's easier said than done. But yeah, you have to do it.
Rain or snow. right?
Rain or snow, rain or shine.
If
We
see-
get our product from up past the hills, and then it's rain or shine.
Yeah, market day.
That's the biggest challenge. Yeah.
What's your market day now?
We put it up to three different days now. So we got
Wow.
Tuesdays, Thursdays, and mostly produce on Sundays because when people shop, they wanted new produce and stuff. But it's consistently, and those just the ones we pick up from the Bay Area,
Yeah.
other than the ones that are being delivered to us. So it's quite a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's overwhelming if you think about it.
No,
but yeah,
no, because I operated a small version of this, and it is
yeah.
just the picking up those items, the
Yeah.
buying those items from
Because you
California.
you want to deliver availability, and that's the biggest challenge I think for the store if you're starting up, because if you don't have this product, chances are they're not coming back.
Correct. They're gonna get That's what happened to me. I had a small area.
yeah,
So with a small area, you
I
can't
remember that area though.
you can't
You were
have
doing-
anything.
Was that the one in Kings Row, or
No, I had that's Manila Trading.
Oh yeah, I remember now because there's so many that came and went that I can't,
That was one of the competition that you had back in 2003.
like I said, I don't
2002.
call them competition. I call them as colleagues. But it's because sometimes there's some stores that we share different ideas. Sometimes
Yeah.
not the newest not anymore. There's so many of them I don't even know who the owners are.
You haven't met them?
I might have met a couple of them, but in passing. But it's not like before when I know you had one, and then
Yeah.
I remember Kathy and Kathy and June had one before in Kings Row. I remember that, and I can't remember anymore the names,
Yeah,
but yeah,
yeah.
but
It
it was
Mike,
Mel and Vicky.
Mike-
I remember that too.
Mel and
Yeah,
Vicky,
because I
Mel
know they
Vicky
moved to
had one.
LA. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
So yeah, we talk every now and then,
yeah.
because there's all commonality on it. I mean, like Asian store is it's so complex. Thinking that okay, you have an Asian store, all Asians will go there. Not so.
Not right.
Not so.
Yeah, not quite.
Yeah, I mean, even Seafood City, the big ticket stores, and you don't see a whole lot of other ethnicity in there other than Filipinos.
Yes.
I mean, Asians by default are loyalists to their own ethnic stores.
Okay, good.
I don't know
good.
if you agree with that though. So
I think so.
yeah, so the Japanese are not going to go to the Thai store. I mean, they're only going to go to the Japanese store. So I mean, you could have their products for variety reasons, but you're not going to get a whole lot of influx from.
You really didn't get any growth from them?
Well, they do. We do. But we don't see a whole lot of Japanese going
too-
in there,
not
or,
too
or
significant.
Thai, or yeah.
Okay.
I mean, so it's kind of dynamic. It's different in some ways.
Mm.
So common knowledge of, oh yeah, Asian store, you have to have everything in there. We try to, but not all of them.
Yes.
So
yes.
we
It's
try
still
to do
very
the
much-
common stuff.
Still very much Filipino store,
Yeah.
Manila, Hong Kong.
Yeah.
But you try to accommodate.
Yeah,
certain-
predominantly,
Nice.
Filipino products, but we carry also Thai and because we use those too.
Yeah.
So when we are cooking, you're just not using Filipino products. Most of them are, but some of them are from other countries, mostly Thailand too. So
Yeah.
yeah.
It's very interesting that all these years
Uh-huh.
you have remained Manila, Hong Kong, especially after you've taken over. Again, with all these other stores opening,
Yeah.
so there's a market share already there.
Yeah.
But you still thrived
Yeah.
to a point that you said earlier that I think I expanded way too late because the demand was there.
Yeah, because
Because that's part of your service is giving us more space,
Yeah.
giving us more product, right?
present the products more.
Yeah.
Or because like I said, we started as a mom and pop store, then it became like more of a general store, if you will. Then I want to turn it into like a grocery store, the grocery atmosphere, and that's
Yes.
how it all triggered. So
Yeah.
we kind of okay.
And it is now.
we
I
have
think.
we have to get a bigger space, present our products well, and that will be and I would be doing them this service if we did not evolve in the way we are now.
Yeah. Yeah.
And people are, like I said, people from California, they expect that.
Yeah. And I have to say the aesthetics of the store
Yeah.
is like a big change,
Oh,
right?
thank you. Yeah.
Because before you were just really cramming
Yeah,
things in
yeah,
there, right?
yeah.
So you
Yeah.
have
That's
things
one thing
around
that
on the wall.
That's one thing that we envision though. You have to you have to evolve from the general what we were doing before for so many years, and kind of like just improve it, as a whole, not just to sell your products, but to improve the service, to improve everything that goes along with it.
I would say you had for me, from looking from the outside, you had so much pressure because you took over
Yeah.
something that was already like thriving.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's always the question is like, okay, can I do it better?
Yeah, that
Right?
that was the main focus then. How do we evolve it from there? I mean, this is it. I mean, I think we peaked at some point.
Yes.
So how do we do that? So that's why I bought up a lot. That was the original plan. Like I said, to build a building from the ground up, and kind of like overwhelmed in that area.
Yeah, that's a lot.
But it's
That's
still
a big
coming. Yeah. So it would have been a good move for us at that time. But the work and the requirements that deals with that, it's different than just buying a building than to build it from the ground up. Way
Yeah.
different. And
Yeah.
I'm sure you know that.
Oh yeah. Yeah. People when my clients tell me I want to build.
Yeah, and that's why we started looking also at that point. And, we're kind of, and then I wanted to get a good location and not to move the people so much.
Correct,
That's how we
correct.
were looking around this area. There isn't not much at that time though. I believe it might have been 2018 or something. So I said, yeah, okay, I'll put that on hold. We'll move the store, make it presentable, and then we'll take off from there.
Yeah.
So
You could
It
probably
did.
buy the corner building. That's for sale.
No. I could probably do that. Yeah, sure,
Yeah,
but
yeah. You don't have to you don't have to build it.
that
It's in
way
the
I don't
corner.
have to move so much. Just
Correct,
move,
yeah.
okay, yeah.
Just push it over.
It's a quick move, yeah.
Push it in a little bit. You know,
Yeah.
it's in there.
Yeah, I could.
No.
Yeah,
2 years ago, it was for sale for $550.
that one is, huh? Oh,
The old theater. That's why I thought.
Thanks
you
for the
purchased
info.
it. Yeah, you're welcome. Here,
I'll make sure I'll call
here's
you
my
with that one, though.
buyer broker
I'll make sure
agreement.
I'll call you with that one, though. But yeah, yeah, sure. That's a future. Like I said, you cannot stop on improving what you have. Yeah, because you have to keep up. You have to keep up with people. People are actually looking for, oh, do you have this product? Oh, I don't, but I can find out. I can source it out. Then you start doing your research, and that's how it all developed. The product development is another.
Correct.
That's another department in there. So,
What do you think's harder, Ronnie, when you guys started it with your mom, or now that
of
you
course.
and Mylene are like, because
Sta-
you're on the expansion.
Of course, starting it because you have to establish, but then from that point, you just, how do you make it better? Evolve from there. How do you keep up? Of course, I would say not copying other stores, but hey, they're doing good in that regards. So is there room for us to improve it? How do we do
Wow.
this service? How do we, it's
You sound
gotta
like
be-
Sam Walton there. Did you hear that story that he did before?
Yeah. That's
He went to
Walmart.
Kmart,
yeah,
right?
yeah. Kmart. He started with Kmart. Yeah,
Right, yeah, he went.
I remember.
He went to see Kmart.
yeah,
He looked around, him
Yeah.
and his partner,
yeah.
and then his partner says, "Oh, we can definitely beat this guys.
Oh yeah.
Their
You know how he
product
did
line
it?
is this."
It's amazing how he did it. And not very many people would remember this. You know how he did his business when he was starting out? He put senior citizens on every store as greeters in front of the store.
That was planned.
Unbelievable.
That was
yeah.
planned.
Yeah,
I
so
thought they were just
back
like
in Walmart. No, it wasn't by accident.
Really?
They designed that one.
Oh.
So that's why when you walk to Walmart, you'll see greeters in there all the time until now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I see the,
That was
the
a signature.
older people there.
yeah.
Why is that? What's the science behind it?
Again,
They're friendlier.
your connection, how you connect with people. Like I said, you're not just selling products. They can buy a water bottle anywhere. What makes you stand up?
Yeah.
From
You
that.
know what? Rayleigh's they don't have a greeter.
Yeah.
Smiths
Well,
don't
when
have a
you
greeter.
start on the corporate thinking, Rayleigh's, of course, Bel Air and Kroger or Rayleigh's. That's the thing about a company. Is it a family run or is it a corporate, attitude? When you start going through that, then there are some changes. There are some, differences in that one though. But you want to keep your thumbprint in all your business. You
Wow.
can still go corporate, but still leave that tradition on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what you did, huh?
Yeah,
You mixed
yeah.
in
I want to leave our trademark. So how
very
do you serve people?
personable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be personable.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's we try.
No, you're doing a good job. I just can't believe it. Like the one of the amazing things when you took over, you and Mylene took over, other than the move that you did recently,
Yeah.
is the fact that with the many competition, for me, I see it this year, with
Yeah.
the other stores that has opened, that has been taking a piece of the pie,
Yeah.
as you put it, you're still, I want to say you're still on the top 3 there. Against on the Filipino side, I think you're still on the number 1 there.
Thank God for our support again of the community, and we when we moved, and actually during the COVID years, you're kind of like, okay, you had to do this blindly, we had to do this, but we have to move, but so our connection with people, and kind of so hopefully when we started bringing the word out that we're moving, hopefully they'll support us and kind of which turned out good.
They followed,
Again,
right? They followed.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And you, if you treat them well, like I said, I can't say that enough. Yeah, they will remember that.
Yeah.
They will remember that though.
Yeah.
So
I shared with Becky during her episode when she was here. I shared that in the Manila Hong Kong was my my getaway.
Kind of a hub,
you know?
yeah.
It was the hub, right?
Yeah.
Here I'm bored at the house.
Yeah,
I'm missing
yeah.
the Philippines. I'm gonna go to Manila, Hong Kong. You know, kunwari, may
But
bibilin
yeah.
ako, but really, I'm missing.
Yeah,
I'm missing
yeah.
Filipinos.
Well, actually, yeah, good example in that one because a lot of people would go. Because remember the old Blockbuster, remember the old Major
yes,
Video.
yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
Hollywood
we
Video.
were renting movies back then. So people would come and go because they all want. We were back then. Everybody's renting movies. Now it's just streaming.
I
So
know.
see, those are how it evolves, how the changing of the times kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in general, I'd like to just keep up with the demands. Or so right now, it's like there's a pickup grocery now. You
Yes.
buy it ahead of time, and this is
Is that what you're
curbside
improving?
pickup. Yeah, we're developing that right now.
Oh.
Curbside pickup
Smart.
and online, and a lot of
You're gonna
people
have
nowadays
an
have
app now,
different
MHK?
needs. Yeah, absolutely.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, my neighbor who's he's sick. He had heart attack.
Oh,
Most recently, I was telling him if he needed help. He goes, "No, not really, because I can just order my grocery on the phone, and then
Yep.
Walmart delivers it to me."
Yep. Isn't that amazing though?
Yeah,
Everything is just right on your front door.
correct.
Don't bother to go to a restaurant anymore.
And then
They'll
everything
just-
here.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
You can open our
Absolutely.
garage here. Or
Oh yeah. Yeah.
when I saw a segment on Discovery, or not Discovery, but another channel about technology,
Yeah.
Google was getting into the smartphone game,
Oh yeah.
and they said that
Yeah.
in the future you'll be able to control your garage
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
through your phone.
Yeah. I-
Watch your cameras here.
I'll tell you one thing that it's blow your mind that cell phone could have flew that a man on the moon back in '69. That's more than enough. More than enough.
Yeah. Because you can use this as a remote
All of the
for your.
computers that they used back in '69, that was bigger. Than that.
This is more advanced. right?
Exactly. That's more than enough. That's how technology is. People we're changing.
So that's amazing, Ronnie. So you're really, really thinking about improvements as you continue to operate the store. You're not trying to just I'm gonna keep my tradition or traditional way.
Well, I always tell myself complacency. Like okay, you've done it. You just gotta keep moving. Gotta keep thinking what's better, what's next. So then still do what you do, but you gotta have the foresight of keeping up.
yeah.
What the changing of the times. So
Yeah.
yeah. Other than that, there's no secret. I mean, I work hard for sure.
There you go. Yes, right? The hard work never goes away.
Oh no. That's pretty staple. What's going on?
So you're the big boss there. So how hard do you work there? Well, I know
Not
you're
as
in the
hard as I
background.
used to, though. Thank God. Not as not as hard as what I.
Maybe not the labor part.
Not the labor part, but mostly on the mental part, though.
Yeah.
And then the planning and like I said, the product development.
Yeah.
So other ideas, what can we do still? How do we develop this product? How do we develop our own trademark? How do we develop our own brand?
Nice.
Because I mean, the big stores have their own brand, so that would be. I'd like to have that too.
Wow, that's something new again there.
Yeah, I mean, Seafood City has Pamana, right?
Yeah.
Well,
So is that what you guys are
it's
planning right now?
Yeah, we're planning. We're planning on doing
Nice.
that. Yeah, so
Good.
we'll see.
Yeah, then Costco has Kirkland.
Yeah.
Do you have a name yet?
Oh no, I don't. I don't know yet. Yeah, but you'd like to develop a lot of products. 'Cause,
Nice. Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah, so
Good.
We'll see. Hopefully it works. So
Hey, Ronnie, I like how you're also not just shying away from the technology changes. You're really trying to see
we have
how
to.
can I merge my
We
business
have to. Yeah,
to the times.
we have to because everything is. Look at AI. Oh my God.
Gosh, I know.
Yeah.
Are you? Well, I don't think AI can AI take over the grocery business, Mikey.
You'd never know. They can take over everything. Yeah.
Because he was
They
my
can-
episode 2, and he's on the photography
Oh, yeah.
business, and he
Yes.
said they have concerns. Do you think AI can?
Oh, they pretty much do everything. I won't be surprised. I won't be
Oh
surprised.
my gosh.
I mean, look at it back then. You had those DVDs. I mean, this is it. This is now.
no, it started
has
with the
it?
remember Betamax and
The
then
Betamax, the VHS.
VHS and then
Look at it now.
Laserdisc
Yes.
and then
Yeah.
DVD
Yeah.
and then now streaming.
See how it's evolving, though. I mean, it's exciting and challenging at times. But yeah, you gotta love what you're doing. You gotta know. You have to have faith in what you're doing. You gotta believe.
That's
Because
right.
the doubts is what turn people to close their doors. It's like, oh, this is it. Dead end. No more. There will be days. There will be times that that are more challenging if you don't believe what you're doing, and it's
That's why you keep saying that.
Yeah.
That's like one of your
Yeah.
advice to
Yeah.
anybody who wants to start a
It's
business, huh?
yeah. It's got to believe what you're doing, and then work hard, of course. Yeah. So and have the balance.
What's the balance?
The
Share
balance, of not just work. You got to give yourself some time. Also, you got first of all you got to give the Lord his time.
Mm.
Then you got to give yourself and your family and your business, because that's you could go insane in this business. Believe me, real quick.
did it put a strain? Did
Oh,
the
yeah.
business somehow put a strain in your marriage because you're
Yeah.
consumed in it, or
Not
or more
really.
so?
Not really. Just you know how to divide your time. So that's why we. Somebody. Oh, you guys went on a trip again? Yeah. Just for sanity, just on my mind. For sanity reasons, I got to do that. I
That's
gotta-
right. Where did you go? I know you texted you to check on you. Yeah, I just got back.
Yeah, we went to Europe.
Europe.
Went to Europe. Yeah.
Nice.
So we had we were lucky to get to went to Europe on a cruise. So we enjoyed that.
Good.
Me and the wife. So and the
You
family.
deserve it. You deserve it. That's
thank
good.
you.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Like I said, a balance. You have to play a little and work hard. That's how you do it.
That's good. But so when you travel, I know you do a lot of
Yeah.
traveling. Do you look at those stores around you and you're
Oh,
like,
yeah.
okay, what
It's
can
amazing. We were in London, and guess what? My wife was still looking for Filipino food. There is a lot of Filipino restaurants in there.
Mylene, you were in London. You were looking for what? Crispy pata? What were you looking
Absolutely.
for? She
Yes, she did.
No
I said,
way.
"Oh my
No
God!"
way.
I was looking for fish and chips, and which one were you looking at?
She was Googling Filipino restaurants.
Yeah, it's amazing that there's a lot big Filipino community in London.
Really?
Yeah, and there are some places that we went to that you would not think. We were in Scotland. There's Jollibee in Scotland.
No
I can
way.
tell you that right now.
No way.
There is.
That's how many Filipinos there are?
I guess I would not think that they would put one up if there's not enough population, right?
Yeah.
I remember there was a thought about opening up one in here in Reno.
I've always heard that.
It came across as an information, but
I think
they
they're waiting on you, Ronnie.
Oh.
You and Mylene. Come on.
No, I think they do a project study as far as the population. You have to have enough population to support it. No matter what you do, it's just basically Filipino.
Correct.
Because you're gonna get other ethnicity, but it's not enough to support it to keep it up.
Did you ever look into that? No.
Not yet, because I think we don't have enough population to do that though, at this point. It might be hot in the first 2 years or so, but how many times you're gonna eat fried chicken?
I know. But Vegas? How many? I
Vegas,
don't know.
oh my gosh,
They
Vegas
have
might
so
have
many
3.
Yeah.
I think, we were looking at the statistics, not actually just today. I think there were like 91,000 Filipinos, if I remember right. If I remember the figure right, all of Nevada, and we were like 13% out of that 91,000 here in northern Nevada.
That's all we
So
have.
the biggest big chunk is in southern Nevada, though, so Las Vegas area.
Not that
But
much.
it's not, it's not to say that it's coming. I mean, we're still getting. You can see the real estate is still. Oh my goodness! Sometimes I don't know who are going to occupy all those houses. Do you know? We're in
There-
trouble if they get filled up for sure.
Yeah, we have a shortage. Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah. There's more demand than the houses that we
Really?
have. Yeah. Which is why at Edon they're they're always trying to encourage or speaking with the builders to give us some more, build some more.
I know they're
'cause we're-
building more and more new ones, and the apartment. That's I don't know who's gonna occupy all that.
Yeah, no, but you'll be surprised, right?
Wow.
Because a lot of these people that are moving to all these warehouses and
Uh-huh.
manufacturing companies are, from Texas and other states, right? And they've been living around the casinos and
Yeah. Wow.
the hotels.
Because they're waiting for.
Yeah,
Wow.
they don't have any housing. It's not enough.
Amazing.
Isn't that crazy?
It's very crazy. I don't know. Hopefully, we're here to see that still.
Yeah.
But that's crazy.
Well, but your business, man, it's been great, and I
Thank
know there's a lot of pressure that you kind of face there.
Yeah.
But
yeah. The challenge is what what makes you or makes me or my whole team, to the adaptation, to adapt on those challenges and to find solutions on those. That's one thing that keeps you going, on the business. Of course, business cannot be stagnant. There will always be ups and downs, issues here and there, but as long as you can handle it, I mean,
that's why you've improved your store more, a lot more than the many years when your mom was operating it. I know you guys were adding, your mom was adding things, but since you and Mylene took over, you've had many changes.
Yeah.
Throughout the years.
Yeah. So we want to, not to change what's already been invented. We don't want to reinvent the wheel. I mean, it's already there.
Yeah.
She established it and they have a good wheel, but we wanted to just enhance it to evolve it to a bigger store, more like a grocery type of setting. And that's
Yes,
it.
and it is.
But the service will remain the same.
Yeah.
The attitude or the principles are still the same. So that's where we are. I mean,
And
we're
customer
proud to say
service
that.
is good, right? Because
What's that?
customer service.
Oh,
is,
yeah.
you
That's
just
number one.
Kept it and keep
Number
improving
one.
it.
You're actually, like I said, when we were in a training one time, this one stuck with me. About, I think it was a business meeting that we were on. Might have been in Phoenix or so. One of the instructors says, Starbucks. He pulled an example of Starbucks. You know what Starbucks is selling? What's Starbucks selling?
Coffee.
No, they're not. They're selling service.
Really?
Yeah. Everybody wants to hang
explain.
around with Starbucks, not because of coffee, because of the Wi-Fi, the atmosphere, not just coffee.
Wow, I never saw it that
It's
way.
amazing. It's
Yeah.
amazing how.
Actually, I would meet my clients if Well, is there a Starbucks?
You're gonna
around
go
that
there not
area?
because of coffee. You're gonna go there because of the place,
Yes.
the ambiance, and then
Correct.
might as well have coffee.
Yeah.
In the process. Yeah.
$6 coffee.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow, I never really saw that.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
amazing.
I thought you were gonna ask me about McDonald's. What's McDonald's selling, right?
Oh,
And
I
it's-
don't know.
they said it's
big
not-
letter M.
They said it's not burger.
But the amazing part of McDonald's, you see them everywhere, all over the world. You see,
Yeah.
they tweak it a little bit. They sell rice in the Philippines.
Rice and chicken. Right? They
Yeah,
have the
yeah,
chicken
exactly.
there. Yeah.
Yeah,
They
but
copied Chicken Joy.
Yeah,
Somehow.
yeah. So it's business is dynamic in a lot of ways. No matter what business you're into, just the faith you have to have. First of all, pray about it.
Mm.
See if it's for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Of course, like I said, if he'll give it to you if it's meant to be.
Right.
So, yeah.
So you're to kind of just help for the listeners.
Yeah.
Your advice is know what you want to do.
Yeah. Be precise on what your goal.
Okay.
Be
Yeah.
precise in your goal because first of all, it's not a goal. First of all, it's a vision. It's a dream. Never lose that. Always dream because that's everything that you see. It all starts from a dream and a thought.
Yeah.
And then you transpose it to a goal. Because the difference, the goal, now you have the deadline.
Oh, okay.
Okay? Now the deadline, and then the hard work with the goal,
To get
and that
there.
becomes a reality.
Right.
Yeah.
That's good.
But don't stop there. Just keep it up though.
Because I like what
Grow,
you're saying. So
grow
you're
with
very,
what you believe.
yeah, you like to
Grow. Yeah.
innovate, always
Yeah.
to improve and just
Something new.
always,
Something new
yeah.
all the time. Because it's, yeah, people always like something new. You know, we always want to see something new, not the same old.
Yeah, that's
May,
why.
may it be products, may it be service, may it be anything. No, something dynamic. You know.
And then you have the service as the at the heart,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
what you picked up from your mom, right? Like
Absolutely,
the service
yeah.
that she said.
Oh yeah.
Treat others like the
Yeah.
way you want to be
Treat
treated.
treat others with, yeah. You know, in Tagalog, you know, say, always always be parehas. You know, always be never, because in Filipinos in they will remember the bad stuff. They would absolutely remember the bad experience.
That's the
But they will
unfortunate
never
thing.
remember the good experience, though. They will somehow. But the bad one bad you give them 20 good experiences and you give them one bad one.
They'll stick
And
with
that's
that
it.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you know,
Correct.
You know, I'm sure you know that. It kind of, and so my own way of thinking is, I'd rather lose money on this deal because I know you're coming back. But if I lose my, you know, if you lose your faith in me, or if I lose my integrity, you know, that's a one-time thing.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
it.
That's good. That's good.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you've always
But
been
you lose
fair.
money, you could always get it back from a future deals anyway.
Correct. Correct.
Yeah.
So let's say, for example, like somebody returns, hey, Ronnie, I
Yeah.
bought this and it went
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
They're just like, oh yeah, take it back, get a new one.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, you know, I mean, of course, there's limitations. You know if it's a shot or not. But I mean, if it's fair, yeah. Why
Right,
not?
right,
You know,
right.
because I'd rather be at service than to be at disservice. You know what I mean? So
That's
it's a
great.
relationship. I
Correct.
mean, it's you and the customers it's always a relationship.
Yeah.
It's not a one-sided thing. You know.
So what I'm hearing you say is you've taken losses for the sake
Well,
of
yeah,
your for the
yeah.
sake of
Yeah,
the
I
relationship.
use that as an example. Yeah, you know, because if this will make you come back, yeah, sure, here, you know,
Right.
why would I want to do it and then had a bad reputation among others, and bad news spreads fast. Believe me, it does.
How about your kids? Are you also trying
Oh,
to train them or expose them to
my,
business?
My kids are not kids anymore. They're
Yeah,
all
yeah.
grown up, and they've all had their careers.
Are they
Nothing
interested?
No, of course. You know, I kind of funny that I saw myself into them like, oh, I will never take over the store when I was young. Look at me, how I ended up. Of course, they have their own careers. You know, my son is a CPA. That, you know, I see him maybe one day he might. he might one day. Yeah, yeah. I don't know if I would like to cite this example. I've seen that on our way to London. There's this commercial. It's really struck me because and there was this Asian guy, young guy. Well, he's taken over his parents. He does not want to take over his parents' business, and then so he ended up with it, and then he had a kid. He had a son, who said, "Oh no, he had a daughter." That said, want to be far away from him, and kind of like not even be involved in the business. And that's just kind of like, you know, it kind of, wow,
It
I
hit
see
you, huh?
myself into that, you know. Yeah. You know, my kids are saying, oh, I'll never take over the business. But you have to know which one is right for them. You know, you lay the foundation and all that. So hopefully they will take over the business, or we'll see.
Well-
Or we could just keep running it and make it a corporate kind of, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that the drive right now, Ronnie? Because you're pretty well established. You
Yeah.
know, you're other than the money that you make from the business, of course,
Uh-huh.
right? With Manila Hong Kong in particular. What's your big why right now? Why you still want to keep doing it, and why you want to? Is it the growth, the potential growth? You still have that in your dreams?
At some point, I would be able to determine if, you know, if we've already done what we've done. At this time, I think there's still a lot of potential. There's still a lot of, you know,
Gosh.
there's still a lot of. I think I don't know. It's
You
just
still have a lot of growth in your vision, huh?
maybe
For
not
the
a whole lot.
business?
Maybe not a whole lot, but to development, So
Wow, that's good.
it, I don't know. It's just I hope I hope it happens, but we'll see. We can only do so much, Like I
Wow.
said, if it's not meant to be, it hasn't given it to you. No matter what you do, it's not gonna happen.
But I like the drive, Ronnie. I like the drive
Thank you.
because it's been so many years. Because people would get complacent, like what you said, like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm bored now. I've made it. I've done
Yeah.
it so many years now.
Again, you'll have your peaks, and you'll say, "Okay, this is it." I've had that. I've had my peaks. I said, "Okay, let's stop right here." Then again, looking back, I said, "Okay, we can always walk away. We can retire, but
Uh-huh.
I feel that the job is not done though. I mean, I think there's still
Golly, all right.
there's still a lot of room. I think like the city of Reno is still growing. Reno, Sparks, Carson, wherever you go, still growing.
But see, that's what I know. It's like you can afford to retire, but you're like, choosing not to because you can still see that you have more.
Yeah.
You
Time
wanna
will
do
come.
more
Time will come,
growth
and I
there.
say, okay, I think we've done what we needed to do, and then I like to get our own place and kind of start from there, see that building.
Oh,
I want to see
wow.
that through.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. That's your Mount Everest, huh? You
Yeah.
wanna get your own building first,
Yeah.
and then just go from there.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's amazing, Ronnie. That's amazing.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you guys for your support.
man.
You've been, gosh, how long have we known each other? My goodness. When did you come here? 1990?
So about 94 when I started
94.
going
Yeah.
to Manila Hong Kong.
I remember, yeah, because I think I met you first from a basketball tournament. I'm not sure.
Probably there.
Yeah, probably. I can't remember anymore.
Nothing productive. Maybe
Well, what we do when we're young is nothing productive, believe me. So we have fun though.
That
We
was
had
still
fun.
my basketball hoop
Yeah.
dreams, my hoop dreams years.
I miss that though. I miss the basketball league. Sometimes I think it was Nino who would still approach me sometimes, and there's a basketball. Yeah,
I think you
wanted-
did sponsor them. huh?
Yeah, for sponsorship. Yeah, I said, yeah, go ahead,
Yeah.
no problem.
Yeah. Yeah, and then I remember I don't want to forget to mention that.
Sure.
You were the president of, was it Faan? There was a time
Oh
that you
no! It was a, gosh, now it
For the
reminded me,
community?
reminded me of Romy. I don't know if you know him.
I remember
Romy
Romy.
Guerrero. Yeah, he invited me. He says, Ron, I want you to head the Filipino Chamber of Commerce.
I attended that. Yeah, I was there.
Yes, yeah. So I kind of, we kind of worked hand in hand with them. He was very supportive. He was, not very many people had different versions of how he was, but he was very supportive.
Yeah.
Actually, at one point, the consulate on wheels, there was a Philippine consulate.
They're
'cause
still doing it
they
now.
come over here every year.
Yeah.
So we spearheaded that for a couple of years, but I did twist it and gave them the idea that twisted that a little bit. They have to come in here not to just serve the passports or any embassy issues, but also to have a fundraising.
Oh.
Yeah, and what is it for? For the good, for the Filipino community that was struck by a storm at that time. So what we did,
okay.
is we did the consulate work in the daytime, and we did a free concert with the donation at El Dorado of all places that time. So it was
didn't
a
know this.
successful one though.
Oh, okay.
Consulate General was the Consulate General at that time. I can't even remember her name anymore, but she was very appreciative of that. So I'm kind of proud to say that. And then so it's the Consulate on Wheels has been here every year. So I think Fan is the one that took over now on hosting them.
Yeah.
I think they're doing a good job. So
Yeah, your family is always, because you guys were like a hub. Manila Hong Kong became a hub, and your family
Yeah.
became very influential in the community.
thank you. Yeah.
And I'm glad that you guys would use that influence to kind of
Yeah,
always help
yeah,
out in the
yeah.
community, right?
Yeah, because my mom, that's in her roots, and I believe that. And so God bless her soul. So yeah, here we are.
You're carrying it on and improving it. Like,
Well, I don't know if I can fill that shoes, but yeah, we're trying. That's,
give me one favorite memory of your mom that you have.
yeah.
Want me to tissue box?
I mean, as far as
For the business that you still kind of carry on today.
Oh yeah. her dedication. When I was looking at her a lot, and she was starting to be ill at that time. My goodness, it was even before we started opening the new store. No, the very first store, she was already feeling a little ill.
Oh, was she?
Yeah, well, she
Oh.
had minor heart issues at that time, but her dedication is what really, her determination is what really it stood out to me, though.
Uh-huh.
I mean, oh my gosh, I remember one time not just multiple times that when she was doing the trip to California
To
with the
buy
driver,
groceries.
yeah, with the driver in rain or shine, and that's how I want to see myself. Well, if I take this over, that's pretty much. I did quite a few of those also, but the determination I think is this, and the dedication.
Wow.
That's the one that stands out to me, though.
That's good.
Yeah, and that's what keeps us to drive because uh, in passing when we were taking over, I said, I said I made a comment that there won't be a day that I will be buying a fish sauce in this store. It'll never be on a different hands though. So
Oh.
that kind of that kind of sold me out. Okay, we're doing this.
Oh gosh, that's good. That's good. I like it.
Yeah, it's not easy, It's
But you and Mylene are enjoying the journey.
yeah. It's hard at times, yeah, but but you gotta love what you do. I mean, she does the home care, and she's very knowledgeable with that.
Yeah, you expanded from 2 patients.
Yeah,
in one house
yeah.
to
She
9,
keeps her busy
3.
for sure. Let me tell you. Well, it brought our kids their education, and we brought them up and brought the whole family. But here we are.
That's good. That's good. I love that. I love that. I want to really thank you for doing that. And
Thank you for having me.
and
Regards to your family. My
no,
goodness.
no, thank you. And I admire how your family started that, Manila, Hong Kong, but all the more now, I admire you and Mylene as you guys have improved.
Yeah,
a
and,
whole
and,
lot
my,
in-
and my brother as well. Yeah,
Yeah,
very,
yeah,
very
yeah.
essential
And your
part
brother,
of that too.
yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a journey, and it still is.
Yeah.
We just got to keep it exciting.
Yes, because you could have just stayed there at the old location
Yeah,
and kept the operations
Yeah.
the same,
yeah,
but you wanted to provide better
Yeah.
service by giving
Yeah.
more room, better
Yeah.
products.
I had that. Well, we had that vision for a while, and then COVID hits, and I said, "Is this the time to do it? We have to do it sooner or later." So here we are.
You're the visionary then. Huh? You're the visionary, and you just have more to come. So
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm excited, Ronnie.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having me again.
No, thanks for doing this. I don't know how long have we been talking. Hour 40?
Oh my lord!
You're a record. You're about like Gilbert's. Gilbert's time was hour and 40. as
Oh my
well.
gosh! Yeah. I haven't seen him in a while, but I hope he's good though.
He's doing
Gilbert,
good.
Gilbert, yeah. During that Filipino Chamber of Commerce, he was part of that too. So,
Was Gilbert
yeah,
in there?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
we
good.
were doing meetings in his office. He had a nice office back. I mean, remember the Gilson
Oh
Auto
my
Body?
gosh, yeah.
That was state of the art.
It
Oh,
was.
yeah.
It's like a showroom in there,
it
isn't
was.
it?
It was.
Yeah, yeah.
And I like how his passion with cars though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
that we share.
yeah. You share that with him? That's good.
Oh my God! Yeah.
He was, I guess there was a car show you missed last week
Yeah.
at the South. Yeah, that's good. Well, all right, we're gonna end. Thank you, Ronnie.
Thank you
for doing this.
Thanks
Thank
again.
you, Mylene.
Appreciate
for,
it.
for
Yeah.
coming. We have our first guest in the studio, which is Mylene, in the audience, I should say, live audience. Thank you, Mylene. We will put you down as our first studio guest.
Maybe. Maybe.
And then we will have Mylene here in the future, right? Well, I just wanted to share again, Ronnie and Mylene's journey is a powerful reminder that legacy isn't about standing still or
Yeah.
just being complacent, but it's about standing tall.
Thank
and
you.
your vision is just to continue.
Yeah.
Your drive is just amazing for somebody
you.
who's ready for a
It's slowing down though every
Yeah.
now and then, but yeah.
No, but it's
through
still
age.
there. Oh no, it's there and it's very refined.
Thank
I
you.
think the difference is the young people were full of drive and we just want to
Yeah.
get it.
Full
But
of
for
energy.
you,
Yeah.
you know where you want to get to, but you know
Yeah.
it'll take time. It's
Yeah.
so measured. You're very tempered, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. Thank you.
And I'm excited for those products that you're going to be coming out with, and,
Yeah. Thank you.
and for that future building maybe. But thank you, Ronnie.
Yeah, thank you
and,
very
and to your
much.
family for showing us how to transform heritage, because there is a heritage there,
Yeah.
and then from that heritage you continue to keep the hope that your mom kind of
Yeah.
put in there, the
Yeah.
vision, and how you turned a family store
Hmm.
into somewhat a beacon of possibility.
Oh yes. Thank you.
You know, because
Yeah.
for me, I'm thinking about business people, Filipino business people that made it and became successful. The Manila Hong Kong family is there,
Oh.
and you
Thank you.
continued, and you took that reign,
Yeah.
and you continued to make it shine
Yeah.
there, which is pretty
Again, we
cool.
can't do it without our patrons, though. I mean, shout out to all of them. They, did a lot of new ones, a lot of old timers, and we've all liked them. We all love them.
It's just a proof that you provided service, like what you were saying,
Yeah.
properly, the best way that you can all these years, because
We
they
try.
won't be coming back,
Well,
like you said.
We keep trying. Yeah.
If you didn't
keep
have
trying.
it, they won't come back.
True. We'll keep
Right.
trying. Yeah.
Yeah.
So thank you again.
No, thank you, thank you. So to everyone that is listening to us, thank you very much. Ronnie, Leron is our episode 10. Mikey and I are thanking you for watching us.
Thank you, Mikey.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Mikey, guy in the background, you know.
Oh yeah.
I did the
Yeah.
episode myself last time. It's a disaster, to say the least. Good thing
But
Gilbert was.
you're the pilot program, though. I mean,
But good thing Gilbert's episode was pretty good. You know, they didn't mind the audio was failing and stuff.
oh, was it? Okay.
Oh yeah, man. But
okay.
not, yours won't, because Mikey's here.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
yeah, your story is amazing,
Thank you.
and I hope that it will encourage future business people there.
Yeah.
Um,
And there's always room in this community, It's ever growing community. There's always room.
yes, I agree with
Yeah.
all this growth that's coming in here.
Gosh, yes.
But we just have to follow the steps there: consistency, service,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
vision, not
Yeah.
complacent,
Yeah.
constantly
Absolutely.
just working. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, Ronnie, your journey for growth, your desire for growth is something to be admired.
Thank you.
You're still
Yeah.
wanting to grow. It's pretty amazing. It's actually very nourishing to know that
Yeah.
somebody that's already established still wants to continue to grow.
Yeah.
That's very humble of you.
Thank you.
It really is. It really is. So for our what do we call them? Our audience. For our audience.
Our followers.
Our
Yeah.
followers, thank you for being part of a Minorities Report. Until next time, we want you to stay bold, stay proud, and God bless you. Bye.